Hi, my name is Anya. We're going to be working through a little bit of a more fast-paced flow today, focusing a lot on balance and just to kind of get the body warmed up and moving. Um, if you do feel that usually you like to use some blocks, maybe have some blocks handy towards the front of the mat on either side if the floor ever feels far to you. We're going to begin at the back of the mat in a comfortable seated position. This can be bringing the hips down towards the heels. You can sit cross-legged if you'd like to. Wherever you are, gently release your hands on your thighs. Maybe close the eyes for a moment. Elongating the spine. Keeping the chin slightly in towards the neck, towards the chest, feeling really the back of the neck grow long. Keeping the belly slightly pulled in towards the spine. Noticing your breath, noticing the breath as it comes into the body. Allowing it to make its way all the way down towards your belly, filling the belly up. And then as you exhale through the mouth, really focusing on elongating the exhalation, pulling the navel in towards the spine. Inhaling through the nose, bringing the breath into the belly, feeling the ribs expanding. And exhaling through the mouth, pulling the navel in towards the spine, pulling the ribs in towards one another. Inhaling in through the nose, elongating the spine a little bit, filling the belly rather with air, feeling the ribs expanding, feeling the chest slightly rising. And then exhaling through the mouth, pulling the belly in, closing the ribs off, allowing the chest to sink down and feel heavy. Inhaling again through the nose, filling the back of the heart with air, feeling the energy as it circulates through your entire body. And as you exhale, gently blink the eyes open, walk the hands forward, coming onto the knees, bringing the knees as wide as the hips, maybe walking the hands a tiny bit out in front of the shoulders if there's any tension in the wrists. Feet disappear behind the knees. As you inhale, gently drop the belly, gaze forward, micro bend in the elbows, press the heart forward. As you exhale, begin from the tailbone to round through the spine, bringing the chin in towards the chest. Inhaling, dropping the belly, gazing forward, opening the heart, micro bending the elbows. Exhaling, starting from the tailbone, pulling it down, rounding through the spine, chin touches the chest. One more like this. As you inhale, gaze forward, opening the heart. As you exhale, tuck the toes, slowly bring the sitting bones up, coming into a downward facing dog. Continuing with movements here. This can mean bending into one knee at a time, shifting the hips maybe from side to side, working the heels towards opposite sides, making sure that the shoulders remain squared. Continue to press the sitting bones up. Work with your breath. Continuing to inhale through the nose and either exhaling through the mouth if you feel there is too much of a buildup of tension, or if you'd like to harness your energy a little bit more, begin to exhale through the nose, incorporating Ujjayi breath into today's practice. We will be working a little bit deeper into the core, working through some balancing poses, so the breath is extremely important in these poses especially. Allow the breath to guide you. If you feel that you're falling out of any given pose, come back to your breath and notice what's happening with it. Is it short? Is it just in the lungs? Do you just feel the chest moving? Direct the breath into your belly. Activate into the belly. And I'll cue this throughout practice, gentle reminders for you, but just something to keep in mind as we're going into this class together. Once you're ready, find a little bit of stillness, bringing the feet hips width distance apart, working the heels towards the floor, or alternatively bending into the knees, lifting the heels, pressing the belly towards the tops of the thighs. Whatever you feel you need to do for today's practice in order to really feel the spine get long and feel the activation in the belly, the navel pulling in towards the spine. Inhale here. And exhale. Press the left foot firmly into the floor with the inhalation. Raise the right leg up, opening into the hip. Shoulders remain squared. Begin to invite movements here. Moving your knee in a circular motion. Focusing on the hip joint. Inhale. Exhale, begin to move in the opposite direction, still continuing with that circular motion. A couple more breaths like this, noticing what's happening with your hands. Can you press the fingertips into the floor? Can you equalize the weight in your arms? Can you really pull the right shoulder down closer towards the floor in order to remain squared in the shoulders? Left kneecap is pointing forward. With the inhalation, raise the right leg up and overhead. Exhale, bend into the right knee. Shift the weight forward. Bring the right knee to nose, rounding through the spine. Inhale, extend. Exhale, shift the knee towards the nose, round through the spine, gaze into the space between the fingertips this time. Really puff up through the back of the heart. Stay here for the inhalation. Bring the right heel closer towards the glute. With the exhalation, drop the right foot in between the hands. Bend slightly into the right knee. Walk the hands forward. Pop up the left leg, coming into a standing splits. Opening the hip in this variation for a moment. So feeling the extension happening in the right hamstring and then stacking the hips on top of one another. Take an inhalation, glue the belly towards the top of the right thigh, press the fingertips firmly into the floor. As you exhale, square the hips, pendulum swing the left leg forward, bringing the hands to your waist. Left foot extends. Make sure you're not tilting the weight back, so keep the shoulders in line with the hips. Take an inhalation, opening the heart, pulling the elbows back. Exhale, hands through heart center, bringing the left leg back behind you, coming into warrior three with the hands by the heart. Hips remain squared. Inhale, deeply gaze forward. Exhale, Shiva squat, bending into the right knee, bringing the left knee back behind. Inhale, extend, warrior three. Exhale, Shiva. Inhale, extend, this time bringing the arms back behind you, coming into airplane. Exhale, pendulum swing the leg forward, bend into the left knee, bring the arms up and overhead. Bring the left ankle on top of the right thigh, bend into the right knee, cactus the arms, press the heart forward, gaze up. Inhale here, opening the heart. Exhale, extending the arms out in front of you, bringing the left knee in towards the chin, round through the spine. Inhale, bring the right hand to the outside of the left foot, bring the left hand back behind you. Gaze towards your left fingertips. Opening the heart, releasing any tension in the shoulders. As you exhale, bend into that left knee. Bring the left heel now towards the right hip flexor. Bend deeply into the right knee, bringing the hands together through heart center, half lotus. Bend deeper into the right knee. Take an inhalation. Exhale, press the left foot a little bit down towards the right knee, coming into a twist. So bringing the left elbow to the outside of the left foot, bringing the hands together through heart center. A lot of balance here. If you fall out, it's okay, just come back in. Bend deeper into the right knee. Take an inhalation. Exhale, maybe you open the arms, left fingertips graze the floor. Take an inhalation here. Exhale, bring the hands together through heart center. Slowly unwind from the pose. Bring the left knee up towards the heart. Extend the arms overhead. Inhale here, elongate the spine. Exhale, left hand forward, right hand back, left leg back. Inhale deeply. Exhale, bend into the right knee, left toes down on the floor, back behind you. Exalted crescent, left arm overhead. Inhale, opening the heart. Exhale, bring the left hand to the inside of the right foot. Extend the right arm overhead, gaze at your right fingertips. Drop the hips slightly closer towards the floor. Take another inhalation. As you exhale, pivot onto the outside of your left foot, stacking the feet on top of one another, coming into this extended side plank. So the left big toe is pressing firmly into the floor, right arm in line with the right ear. Inhale. Exhale, bring the right elbow down onto the floor. Shift the weight over towards the right side now, coming into side plank on your right forearm. Extend the left arm overhead. Take an inhalation. Exhale, bring the left hand down towards the floor. Pivot all 10 toes towards the front of the mat. Come onto the outside of the left foot. Bend into the right knee, coming into wild thing. So right foot comes back behind. Press firmly into the left toes. Gaze towards your right fingertips. Inhale, deeply opening the entire front body. Exhale, coming back through center. Bend into the right knee. Bring the right knee in towards the right wrist. Right toes towards the left wrist. Coming into half pigeon. Pull the glutes up and then pull the inner thighs in towards one another. And then keeping that strength there, begin to gently lower the sitting bones down towards the floor. If you feel that you might need a block here, place a block underneath your right glute. And then either stay here, opening the heart, or press your right hand into the floor. Begin to bend into the left knee. Reach back behind with your left hand, and then maybe begin to bring your left heel in towards your left glute. Be careful not to be pivoting over towards the side. So really keep the hips squared, and then from here begin to pull the heel down towards the glute. Alternatively, extend the leg back behind you, and then opening the heart a little bit towards the side, but still working the left shoulder forward. Inhale. Exhale, gently release the back foot. Bring the left hand down onto the floor if it's not already there. Move the block over towards the side if you've been using it. Shift your weight towards your right sitting bone. Extend the left leg out in front of you. Excuse me. Bring the right foot in line with your left knee. Bring the right hand back behind you. Inhale, left arm overhead. Exhale, bring the left elbow to the outside of your right thigh, creating a twist, gazing back behind you. Either staying here or taking the right arm, extending it away from you, and then interlacing it towards your left inner thigh. This will require a bit more core stability. Inhale, release any tension in the shoulders. Exhale, slowly facing the front of the mat. Extend the right leg. Bring both arms up and overhead. And then bringing the hands down towards your feet in Paschimottanasana. Inhale, gaze forward, elongate the spine. Active in the legs. As you exhale, begin to bow down. Elbows off of the floor, gaze towards your toes. Folding from the hips, really active in the quadriceps. Inhale deeply. Exhale, bring the arms up and overhead, gaze back behind you, make sure there's nothing back there. We're gonna go right into Halasana. So with control, lowering yourself down, bringing the arms overhead with the palms facing up. Raise the hips, bring the toes towards the palms. Either staying here or begin to walk your feet in towards your elbows. Be careful with the neck. Connect with your breath. Inhale. Exhale, releasing the compression, slowly rolling yourself forward, crossing the feet, returning back into that tabletop shape. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze forward. Maybe you micro bend into the elbows. Exhale, rounding through the spine, bringing the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, dropping the belly, gazing forward, opening the heart. Exhaling, rounding through the spine. Inhale, dropping the belly, gazing forward, allowing your breath to guide your movements. As you exhale, start from the tailbone, pulling it down, rounding through the spine, chin coming in towards the chest. One more like this. As you inhale, gently drop to the belly, micro bend the elbows, gaze forward. As you exhale, tuck the toes, slowly raise the hips up. Continuing with these movements as much as you'd like to here. If you'd like to find a little bit of stillness, bring the feet hips width distance apart and connect with your breath. Bring the weight over towards the right foot. With the inhalation, bring the left leg up, bend into the left knee, opening the hip, creating movement here. Rotating in the left hip, keeping the hips squared. Moving with your breath. Keeping the shoulders squared, rather. Hips are open and moving. Begin to move in the opposite direction with your knee. Working the heel really as close to the glute as possible. With the next inhalation, extend the left leg, coming into a three-legged dog. Come high up on the right toes, bend into the left knee, shift the weight forward, knee to nose. Inhale, extend the left leg. Exhale, shift the weight forward, knee to nose. This time, gaze into the space between your thumbs. Puff up through the back of the heart, left heel close towards the left glute. With control, drop the left foot in between your hands. Walk the hands tiny bit forward, bringing the fingertips onto the floor in a tent shape. Pop up, bringing the right leg up, coming into standing splits. Take an inhalation here. Exhale, glue the belly on top of the left thigh. Work the crown of the head down. Inhale. Exhale, coming back up, squaring through the hips, keeping the hands on the floor or maybe bringing them to the blocks. Bend into the right knee, bend into the left knee, Shiva squat. Inhale, extend, gaze forward. Exhale, Shiva squat, maybe with the hands on the floor or maybe bringing the hands through your heart. Inhale, wherever you are. It's okay if you fall out of it. It's completely normal. Exhale, Shiva. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Pendulum swinging the right foot forward, bringing the hands to your waist. Extending the right foot, active in the right toes. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands through heart center, bringing your right leg back behind you, coming into warrior three. Squaring the hips off, inhale deeply. Exhale, coming back forward, bending into the right knee, extending the arms overhead. Take an inhalation, flex through the right toes. As you exhale, bring the right ankle towards the top of the left thigh, bending into your elbows. Figure four with the legs, cactus arms, pressing the heart forward. Inhale, extend the arms out in front of you. Work the right knee towards the chest, rounding through the spine. Exhale, returning back to that figure four, hands through heart center. Bring right elbow to the outside of your right foot, the right elbow on the arch of the right foot, creating a twist here, bending into that left knee even deeper. Each side is going to be different for everyone. Take an inhalation. As you exhale, graze the floor with your right fingertips. Maybe you gaze up towards your left fingertips. Bend into that left knee even deeper. Inhale, slowly coming back through center, bringing yourself all the way back up. Exhale, extending the left arm back, right arm forward, right leg back. Take an inhalation. As you exhale, drop the back toes down towards the floor, coming into an exalted crescent. Right arm overhead, feeling the entire right side body expanding. Take an inhalation. Exhale, bring the right hand down to the inside of the left foot. Pivot the right foot towards the side, stacking the feet, coming into this extended side plank. Inhale here, really press the hips up by pressing the right big toe firmly into the floor. Exhale, place the left elbow onto the floor with control, bringing your weight to the outside of your left foot, stacking the feet, extending the right arm overhead. Pressing the left big toe firmly into the floor, gluing the inner thighs in towards one another. Here for the inhalation. Exhale, bring the right hand back down onto the floor, pivot all 10 toes forward, come onto the outside of your right foot, bring your left foot back behind you, coming into wild thing. Extending the left arm back behind you, opening the entire left side body. Take an inhalation. As you exhale, slowly unwinding from the pose, coming into half pigeon on the left, bringing the left knee towards the left wrist, bringing the left ankle towards the right ankle. Extend the right leg back behind you. So again, using the blocks here, if you'd like to, you can place them underneath your sitting bones, underneath your left sitting bone rather. Pull the inner thighs in towards one another to elevate yourself a bit. Stay active here. Feel the extension in the right hip flexor, and then begin to bow down a little bit by maybe really pressing the right hip flexor down, making sure you're not leaning too far forward. So stay active in the belly, active in the glutes. And then either staying here or bringing the left hand to the floor, bending into the right knee. Bringing your right hand to the right foot, to the inside of the right foot. Option one is to really pull with your foot towards the back and then pull your shoulder forward. So creating this back bend, but really activating into the quadricep, feeling the hip flexor extending. Option two is pulling the heel in towards the glute and then facing forward. Again, check in that you're not leaning over towards the one side, which could be the tendency if there's lack of flexibility in the quadricep. Inhale. As you exhale with control, bring the back leg back behind. If you're holding onto it without flinging it back, move the block. If you've been using the block, bring the right leg towards the front of the mat, swinging it over. Bring your left knee up to face the ceiling. The left foot is about one hand's distance away from the left knee. And then walk the right heel in towards your right glute. Bring the left arm back behind you as an extension of your spine. Keep the left knee in, so active in the hip flexor. Inhale, bring the right arm overhead. As you exhale, bring the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh, creating a twist here, pulling the shoulders away. If you feel that you're really leaning a lot into the back arm, an option is to bring the left arm towards the inside of your right hip flexor, and then you have to really use the strength of the right leg to help counterbalance a bit. Elongating the spine. Inhale. Exhale, unwind from the pose, extend the left leg, bring the arms overhead. With the next exhalation, bring the hands towards the feet, coming into Paschimottanasana. Inhale deeply. Exhale, bowing down. Inhale, elongating the spine, gazing forward. Exhale, bowing down. Inhaling, elongating the spine, gazing forward. And exhaling, bowing down. Inhaling, bringing the arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring the hands underneath your shoulders. Interlace, cross the feet. Bring yourself towards the front, coming into tabletop. Bring the knees underneath the hips. As you inhale, drop the belly, gaze forward. As you exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, dropping the belly, gazing forward, opening the heart. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling, dropping the belly, gazing forward. Tucking the back toes with the exhalation, bringing the sitting bones up. Opening the feet so that they're as wide as the mat. Feet remain parallel. Coming into this wide-legged stance, downward facing dog. So really pulling the belly towards the tops of the thighs. Keep extending through the spine. Pull the tailbone up. Ground through the feet. Take a deep inhalation. As you exhale, gaze forward, come high up onto the toes with control, dropping the knees towards the floor. Bring the knees in towards one another. So the feet are wide, knees are close. Come onto the tops of the feet. With control, drop the sitting bones down towards the floor on the inside of your heels. You can readjust your feet here if you'd like to. Working into the quadriceps quite deeply right now. You can stay here. Close the eyes, connect with the sensations. Notice what begins to happen with your mind as soon as you start to let go. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, bring your hands to your feet, grabbing your feet with your hands. Bring the elbows down. Be careful not to feel a pinch or any uncomfortable sensation in your lower back. So you can continue to gaze a little bit out in front of you, keeping the chin towards the chest, opening through the heart by pressing the elbows into the floor and then pressing the heart up. The sitting bones remain on the floor. The knees remain in towards one another. Make sure the knees are starting to come up. If the knees are starting to come up, back off from the pose. There's no sense in really going into the deepest expression of something if it's going to not give us the benefits of what the pose actually is. It's better to really work our way up towards the deepest expression of a given pose, and then really breaking through all of those barriers, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, as we're making our way to it, connecting with the breath. You're more than welcome to stay here or begin to lower all the way down onto your backs. Again, checking in what's happening first with your lower back. Do you feel a pinching sensation? If you do, back off, come out of the pose. If you don't feel a pinching sensation, but you feel the knees splaying out from one another, active in the legs, pull the knees in. So feel the quadriceps really working, feel the glutes firing up. Inner thighs are really active here. This helps to protect the lower back. If we just sink into the pose, we're going to cause some damage to the lower back. So it's important to really stay on the tops of the feet, keep the heels in towards the glutes, keep the chin tucked in. Maybe you now extend the arms overhead and grab opposing elbows. Whichever variation you're in, try not to be too passive in it. So release where the body has tension, where you're creating tension, but stay active in the parts of the body that help protect the body from causing itself injury. Release any tension in the shoulders, in the neck, in the jaw. A few more breath cycles wherever you are. If you're all the way in the fullest expression of the pose, bring your hands back towards your feet, pressing the elbows into the floor. Allow the head to remain hanging. If you're on your elbows, slowly press the hands into the floor. Keep the head as is. Coming all the way up, bringing the shoulders in line with your hips. Slowly, keeping the spine long, transition back onto your knees. Bring the knees in towards one another. Bring the feet in towards one another. Slowly bring the forehead down towards the floor, coming into embryo pose as a counter. Bring the arms alongside your body. Relax anything in your lower back, in your knees. We've been on the knees for a little bit now. So it's very normal to feel maybe a bit of discomfort in the knees or the tops of the feet. But we really have to learn to differentiate between pain that we're causing ourselves and creating openness in the body. Often in these practices where we go a little bit deeper, we're really learning to rub up against some of these tensions that have formed in our body. A good indicator is to always come back to the breath. Notice what happens with your breath in any given pose. If the breath becomes really short, it means maybe you've gone a little bit too far. Bring your attention back into elongating the inhalations, equalizing them with the exhalations. And only then begin to work a little bit deeper into different poses. Inhaling through the nose here. As you exhale, bring your hands underneath the shoulders, slowly pressing yourself up, shifting the weight towards one side. Bringing your feet together to touch, opening the knees wide. If you want to use blocks here beneath the knees, you're more than welcome to. We're coming into butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. Bring your hands to your ankles. Elongate the spine. Bring the chin a little bit towards the chest. Press the elbows towards the inner thighs. And then begin to slowly work your way forward. It's really helpful here to activate into your feet. So when you press the toes in towards one another and the heels and the cushions of your feet, you'll start to notice that you're able to control and open a little bit deeper into the outer hips. And maybe you can begin to walk your elbows down onto the floor. Stay active in the legs here. Keep pressing the toes in towards one another. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling. Inhaling one more time through the nose deeply. Exhaling, dropping the head down, rounding through the spine, allowing yourself to just relax here. Allow the head to hang heavy. Release any tension in the jaw, in the forehead. And with the next inhalation, gently press yourself back up. With the help of your hands, bring your knees in towards one another. And then bringing the feet, so the toes are touching, the heels are touching. We're going to try to stand back up. So this is quite hard. Maybe it looks easier than it actually is, but we're going to work our way in between the thighs, using the hands to help with a little bit of momentum. It's easier if you have the feet in towards one another, big toes touching, heels touching. Shift the weight forward, bringing the hands alongside your body. Walk your way towards the top of the mat. If you're not already there, still big toes touch, open the heels a little bit wider. Relax the shoulders. Elongate the spine. Inhale, bring the arms up and overhead, gaze at your fingertips, active in the glutes. Exhale, bowing down. Inhale, elongate the spine, gaze forward. Exhale, press the hands towards the floor, raise the right leg off of the floor. Drop the right foot towards the back of the mat, bend into the left knee. Inhale, arms overhead, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands through heart center. Shift the weight towards the front of the mat, bringing the belly towards the top of the left thigh. Shift the weight into the left leg, bend into the right knee. Press the right foot up. So kind of this funky airplane with the right foot extended up, making sure the hips remain squared. Inhale. Exhale, shifting all the way forward, bringing the right knee with you. Right knee is bent, right toes are flexed, pointed or demi-pointed. Begin to open the right knee out towards the right side. Take a deep inhalation. Exhale, come back through center. Extend the right foot out in front of you. Bring the left hand to the outside of the right foot. Bring the right hand back behind you. Inhale deeply, gaze towards the right fingertips. Exhale, swinging the leg back behind you, coming back into that warrior three, hands towards heart center. Inhale deeply. Exhale, knee to nose, rounding through the spine. Hands by heart center. Inhale, arms back behind, extending with the legs, coming into airplane. Exhale, returning back into that crescent lunge. Right foot drops back behind you, bending into the left knee, arms overhead. Straightening through the left leg, right toes high, pyramid pose with the legs. Pull the right hip forward. Inhale deeply. Exhale, right hand out in front of you, left hand back behind. Gaze towards your left fingertips, active in the glutes, active in the inner thighs. Walk the right hand slightly further forward. Belly's active. Exhale, bring the right hand down to the floor to the inside of your left foot. Extend the left arm overhead. Gaze at your left fingertips. Hips remain squared. Inhale deeply. Exhale, bend into the left knee. Bring the left hand to the inside of your left foot. Rotate the back foot. Extend the right arm overhead. Inhale. Exhale, stay here or interlace the arms, creating a bind underneath the left leg. Gaze towards your right shoulder, opening the heart. Option to stay here or gaze out towards your left big toe. Bring the right foot in to meet the left. Staying here. If you'd like to use a strap, you can use a strap here, bringing the strap between your hands. Press the weight into your right foot, high up on the left toes with control. Bring yourself up to standing, bringing the left knee with you. Finding your balance here. So again, active in the right glute, active in the belly. The heart is open. Pull the shoulder blades in towards one another. Option to stay here or begin to extend the left leg, coming into bird of paradise. Inhale. As you exhale, come out of the pose the way you came in. So with control, begin to drop the left foot down towards the floor. Staying in that bind with the arms, walk the right foot towards the back. Releasing the bind, extending the right arm overhead, left hand out in front of the left foot, coming into half moon. Really active in the floating leg. Inhale deeply. Exhale, drop the right hand down in line with the left. Square the hips, bring the knee to nose. Inhale, extend, gaze forward. Exhale, knee to nose. One more, inhale, gaze forward, elongate the spine. Exhale, knee to nose. Bring the right foot down to meet the left. Open the feet, hips width distance apart. Bend deeply into the knees. Bring hands to opposing elbows. Allow your head to relax here. Allow it to hang heavy. Maybe invite some movement from side to side. Reconnecting with your breath. The next inhalation, gently drop the fingertips towards the floor. Press the right foot firmly into the floor, elongate the spine, gaze forward. At the same time, extend the left leg. Bend into the left knee, micro bend into the right knee. Bring the hands through heart center. Press the left heel up rather. Inhale. Exhale with control. Bring yourself up to standing, bringing the left knee with you. Elongate through the spine. Bring the left hand, keep the hands through heart center, open the left hip towards the left. Inhale here, active in the standing leg. Make sure you're not tilting over towards the side. Exhale, come back through center. Bring your right hand to the outside of the left foot. Extend the foot out in front of you. Bring the left arm back behind. Inhale deeply. Exhale, facing towards the front, hands through heart center, pendulum, swing the left leg towards the back, coming into warrior three. Inhale here. Exhale, bend into the left knee, round through the spine, bring the knee to nose. Inhale, extend the left leg, extend the arms back behind you. Exhale, bend into the right knee, bring the left toes towards the back, coming into crescent lunge. Begin to straighten through the right leg high up on the left toes, pulling the tailbone slightly down. Extend the left arm out in front of you, right arm back behind. Gaze towards your right fingertips. Inhale. Shift your shoulders so they're in line with the hips, so maybe move back a little bit more. Keep pressing the left hip forward. If you fall out of the pose, it's okay. Shift the left hand towards the inside of your right foot. Extend the right arm overhead. Inhale here, active in the right quadriceps, high up on the left toes. Exhale, bend into the right knee. Bring the right hand to the inside of your right foot. Pivot the back foot. Inhale, bring the left arm overhead. Stay here or interlace the arms beneath your right leg. Stay here, gazing towards your left shoulder, lowering the hips down. Or gaze towards your right big toe. Walk forward towards the front of the mat with your left leg. Stay here, pressing the left foot firmly into the floor, finding the balance, activating in the belly. Or begin to raise the right leg, coming into bird of paradise. Making sure you're not tilting over towards the side. So opening the hip with the arms, opening the chest. Inhale, gaze forward, elongate the spine. If you want to go deeper, extend the right leg. You're more than welcome to use a strap here as well. Inhale deeply. As you exhale, slowly unwind from the pose, bringing the right foot down towards the floor, walking the left foot towards the back, extending the right hand in front of the right foot, left arm overhead, coming into the left leg, into half moon on the left side. Balance is off today. Active in the belly, active in the glutes. Inhale deeply. As you exhale, bring the left hand down in line with the right. Square the hips. Bring the big toes to touch. Begin to bend into the knees, dropping the belly on top of the thighs, creating this little embryo shape here, this little egg shape, really squeezing the tops of the thighs. Bringing your sitting bones back down onto the floor, still holding onto the thighs, lower all the way down onto your back. Bring the chin in towards your chest. Take an inhalation. As you exhale, gently drop the back of the head down towards the floor. Close the eyes. Release the arms, release the legs, coming into Shavasana. Returning back to your breath. Noticing what are the sensations that you're experiencing in your body. Noticing where your mind is. Always knowing that bringing awareness to your breath and allowing your breath to guide you is a practice you can take off of the mat. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I will see you next time.